60s, before the environmental.
Yeah, before those regulations.
The smokestacks were allowed to spew toxic poison into the atmosphere, yeah, way back then.
Before Mr. Reagan put a stop to all that regulation.
Again, regulations versus deregulations, which is what the right wing likes to do. So, and on top of that, in China, they were injecting chickens with water to increase the weight of the chicken to screw the customer. Hey, my grandfather used to tell me back in the 1920s, you have the butcher that would
put the thumb on a scale.
Put the thumb on the scale, and sometimes there were like the pebbles inside the chicken.
Oh, jeez.
But I'm telling you, this capitalism is really something else.
What is the statement on the first page of the newsletter censored? The
prove all things?
No. The nail.
Oh, as the nail sticketh between two stones, so does sin stick to buying and selling.
Correct.
Well, I'm sure that means God's not too crazy about buying low and selling high.
Correct.
So those people on that true TV show, Hardcore Porn, this doesn't sound good for people like that. Buy low and sell high?
No.
Well, that's Chiseler's Hall of Shame. Shame on you, Abbott Labs, making Similac baby formula. Hey, I bet. And shame on the companies, the food companies that were doing this to the Chinese people. And it's just amazing how when you watch commercials for U.S. food industry, they make you think it's real food. And I am so sick and nauseating of hearing that retarded Cheerios commercial where they have the baby putting the Cheerios in his mouth and saying, the one and only Cheerios. Yeah, the one and only refined oat flour with sugar.
But that's not even the worst of it. The worst of it is, I think doesn't it say somewhere on the box about it lowers cholesterol 4%? Doesn't it say that?
Oh, big deal, 4%. But if you consumed whole grain, organic, steel cut oatmeal or oat bran, you would lower it. I think it's like 30%.
Yeah. Somewhere's around like garlic.
Yeah, garlic.
Around like garlic.
Great for hypertension and high LDL, but you got to cut the sugar out of your diet. If you expect your blood pressure to be normal and your LDL and triglycerides to go down, you got to get the refined carbs completely out of your diet and eat more fiber, of course. Well, natural carbs are high in fiber, so you have a slow, sustained release of blood sugar with a normal insulin production.
Hopefully.
Correct. Hopefully. Now, but that's what you got to do. You can't. People that go to Weight Watchers, they tell you, oh, you can eat crap, but you have to like portion everything out, and everything's worth points. But they allow you to eat garbage.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what boggles my mind. They got Pop-Tarts in there and Snackwell cookies or whatever.
Cakes.
Yeah. But everything, they don't believe in depriving anyone. You know something? Obese people, you should be deprived if it's not real food. If it's Cheese Whiz or Velveeta, which is not real cheese.
Cheese Whiz.
It's not real.
Philadelphia. The steak. That's all they'll use.
Why do you think? No, I've had Philly cheesesteak with mozzarella or provolone.
I know, but in Philadelphia, you're not going to have that.
Oh, really? Well, why do you think those famous cheesesteak places use Velveeta or Cheese Whiz?
That's how it got started. I don't know.
Because it's cheap.
I wouldn't use it.
It's cheap. I wouldn't eat it.
Although I used to use it when I was a child. I used to use the box. I used to make it like a bus out of the box, a toy.
That's why it's called...
Remember the box?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's why it's called processed cheese food. I wouldn't even call it food. Processed cheese like glop or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Cheese.
I got it.
What?
Processed cheese gunk.
Processed cheese gunk. Oh, before we sink our teeth into these readings, I want to say thank you and salute professional wrestler, the Peacemaker.
I couldn't see that video last night.
For yesterday's show. I'll send you the link again. What happened?
I don't know.
I want to thank you for probably one of the best professional wrestling talk shows that I have ever done. It was very informative, and I had a great time. And you know, welcome back if you want to come back on again. If you have some new topics to discuss, you know. But just want to thank the Peacemaker, and also say hello to my friend down in Boca Raton, Florida, strongman and professional wrestler who is in the WWE, Mr. Ken Thiessen, as well as Rick Brown, club and mace swinging guru from Southern California, Circular Training. Say hello to both of yous.
Three of yous.
Huh?
3 of yous.
Well, there's... Oh, yeah, you're right. 3. I mentioned 3 people.
Yeah.
3 people. Okay, let us sink our teeth into these readings. I think I covered everything that needs to be covered for the Chiseler's Hall of Shame.
Well, back to that video, I said I didn't know what was wrong or something like that, but I tried. I tried to watch someone else's video of a mariachi band in school mariachi band, and it kept stopping and 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 stopping.
Buffering?
No, not buffering, just stopping and starting and stopping.
Really?
Yeah.
Is your real player...
real player ain't doing that.
It's the default...
I don't know. It's the internet.
Oh, were you able to cut and paste into the program
Didn't
files?
try it. I will not try it because, as I told, didn't you see the newsletter? Send it to Jerry. He's the one who mentioned that, right?
No, I'm the one that mentioned cut and paste.
Cut and paste I'm not going to try because right now I have stopped my updates because it's screwing with my computer.
Yeah, but they're Windows updates, right?
Yes, Windows updates.
So how is that screwing with the computer?
The best I can see, the problem is unspecified changes to system files, which means my updates.
Your updates are for Windows 7.
They turned off my volume the other day. You know, so I stopped them, and last night it booted up perfectly.
How many did you have left? How many updates were left?
Oh, I've already got 89, 82, 79.
That doesn't sound normal.
No, it doesn't sound normal. Okay, so
your Windows 7 is going haywire, completely haywire.
But it looks like it's due to the updates. So,
wow.
You know, whether I'm going to harm myself in the future, I don't know. But right now, I'm stopping them.
But that many updates sounds
crazy,
insane. It's not. It doesn't sound normal to me. No. You know.
I don't think on XP, when I was using XP, I don't think I had more than 8 updates at a time.
Yes. Yes, me too.
I mean, I defragged the other day.
With Vista, yeah.
Defraggler took 2 hours and 15 minutes.
But it's a new computer.
That's what I'm saying.
How can you need that much defragging on a new computer?
Hell?
The hard drive is like a newborn baby.
Well, it is 500, you know, gigabytes.
Yeah, but defragging is like down the road.
It's only got like maybe 35 to 45 gigs used with programs. I mean, my XP, I had 72. And it was done in 2 minutes.
And you have the updated defraggler as well as the updated everything else.
Yes. And in fact, last night, my program from XP was Logic's defrag. Okay? Folks, I went there and I downloaded it. Now it's called Boost Speed.
Yeah.
And I only have it for 15 days, and then you gotta pay for it. It was free in the old days.
Oh, you don't need to pay for any programs. There's plenty of free programs out there. Folks, the reason why we're having this conversation is because when Dr. Bill got his new computer and he tried to download the programs from the previous
external.
I'm getting to that. From the previous PC that he had sent the files into the external hard drive. It was not putting them in the programs file folder. It was putting them in
Windows 7.
It was putting them in the documents, right?
Yeah.
With Windows 7.
Yeah.
By default, it's supposed to put anything with an exe, a program, is supposed to put it in the programs
or
file.
Downloads.
Yes.
Like when you download a program,
yes.
Most of the time, when 7 downloads programs from the internet, it goes into the downloads file folder.
But then
you have to go in there. Some of them you have to go in there then and set up. You know, click on them to open them.
Well, with my PC, it asked me where do I want to put the program, and I select program files. Maybe you did not select program files.
Doesn't come up.
The window doesn't come up.
No, that's the wizard. No, you're using the wizard when that comes up.
The download.
I'm saying when
wizard?
You click on the download on the web page, to download the thing, it usually gives you a run or save window, you know. But some of them don't do that in Windows. It works in the background, and you don't even know it's doing anything until it's done, and then it tells you, yeah, download completed successfully. You know?
Oh, you know where all my pop-ups were coming from? From when I was on Mozilla Firefox. I read the message. They were coming from this coupon extension, this add-on.
Yeah. Get rid of it.
I got rid of it. It's disabled. It is coming from one of your extensions. So be careful when you see all these enticing add-ons and extensions for Mozilla Firefox.
Also, be very careful when you download any program, because they try to sneak in toolbars and this, that, and the other thing all the time. Uncheck them.
Before you download on the program, read the fine print, uncheck toolbars, uncheck where it says make
yeah, my default,
make
whatever.
Ask or Google Chrome your default browser.
Yeah.
They want to, because when you download on a free program, sometimes they want to take over your whole PC.
Yeah, baby.
You know, like what corporations do. They want to, with sales hype. They want to be your one-stop source of everything in your life.
Yeah.
Very obnoxious, high-pressure sales. Snake oil technique, in my opinion.
Women have another reason to exercise.
Oh, there's another reason besides the obvious?
It may help to prevent kidney stones.
Oh.
You don't have to break a sweat or be a super athlete either. Even walking for a couple hours a week can cut the risk of developing this painful and common problem by about 1/3. Every little bit makes a difference, and the intensity doesn't matter. Just getting a minimum amount of exercise does, said Dr. Matthew Sorensen of the University of Washington School of Medicine in Seattle. By the way, I am enrolled in a program with the University of Washington.
PhD program?
No, a post-polio syndrome.
Oh, post-polio
and
syndrome.
Aging.
Gerontological.
How they affect each other. Program.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
He led the study, which will be discussed Friday at an American Urological Association conference in San Diego. About 9% of people will get a kidney stone sometime in their life. The problem is a little more common in men, but incidence has risen 70% over the last 15 years.
Extremely painful, from what I understand.
Ooh, most rapidly among women. Obesity. raises the risk.
Okay.
As do calcium supplements.
With calcium, you have to make sure you take a decent amount of vitamin D.
Magnesium.
And magnesium at the same time?
Yeah.
Or at the same time?
No, at the same time and maybe later.
Yes.
Depends on how much
because they compete with each other for absorption, right?
Yeah.
And also phosphorus, which there's plenty of phosphorus. From your diet, from the average diet. So you do not have to supplement with phosphorus, but phosphorus is directly involved with turning calcium into bone too, along with vitamin D.
You may need boron too.
Boron, oh, excellent for women, excellent for balancing a woman's hormones in her postmenopausal years.
Anyway, the calcium supplements, which many women take after menopause. A government task force recently advised against supplements for healthy older women, saying that relatively low-dose calcium pills don't do much to keep bones strong, but make kidney stones more likely.
Yeah. Well, I like the liquid calcium.
Magnesium and me too. Magnesium and B6 are touted to prevent kidney stones, actually.
That is liquid calcium sold in soft gels.
Yeah. By Mr. Swanson.
Yes. I mean normally I do not recommend the calcium carbonate, but the liquid calcium carbonate I think is fine. But make sure you get it with well, you should take extra vitamin D anyway. At least like 1,000 to 5,000 international units. But
I think 1,000 is good.
1,000 is good, unless
especially in the wintertime, you might need a little more.
Yeah, unless you have an autoimmune disease or deficiency, then you go with the 5,000 international units. But make sure that your liquid calcium soft gels have at least 400 international units of vitamin D3 in them. You know what I mean? Because a lot of Americans today are shut-ins. I mean, they're indoors a lot more than they're outdoors. Especially the kids, you know. I was always outside as a kid, you know, because we didn't have the high-tech toys and computers and, you know, video games and everything. So I was outside playing, but, you know, now people are indoors and they just don't get adequate sunshine to create the vitamin D3.
High-Tech Redneck is one of George Jones's songs.
High-Tech Redneck?
High-Tech Redneck, yeah.
I like that.
A redneck that had all these high technology
products. I got
big screen TV, you know.
I gotta look up that song. It's been around for a while, right?
Yes, it has. The new research involved nearly 85,000 women, 50 and older, in a government-funded women's health initiative study. All had an exam to measure weight and height so doctors could figure out their body mass index, a gauge of obesity. They also filled out annual surveys on what they ate, so researchers could take into account things known to lower the risk of kidney stones, such as drinking a lot of fluids and eating less salt or meat. Participants said how much exercise they usually got, and that was translated into METs, a measure of how much effort an activity takes. For example, 10 METs per week is about 2.5 hours of walking at a moderate pace, 4 hours of light gardening, or 1 hour of jogging. After about 8 years, 3% of the women had developed a kidney stone, compared with women who got no leisure time exercise. Those who got up to 5 METs per week had a 16% lower risk for stones. The risk was 22% lower with 5 to 10 METs per week, and 31% lower for 10 MET or more. Exercise beyond 10 METs added no additional benefit for kidney stone prevention. Exercise intensity didn't matter, just how much women got each week.
Interesting. We have one more before break, not too long. Reading.
One would think that the Republican Party has consistently fought for equal rights and opportunities to foster blacks and other minorities of our country.
Oh, sure they do.
While giving a thumbnail sketch of perceived accomplishments that have taken place over the years, this particular letter writer fails to understand the Democrats he lambasts regarding the percentage who do not support the Civil Rights Act of 1964 or the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Those Southern Democrats, or Dixiecrats,
yeah, which are blue dogs,
left the party and became the Republican Party we know today.
Oh, that's how they originally, that's how the nice guy Republicans turned into the bad guys?
The Southern strategy of Richard Nixon.
Oh.
This is a political group that does not show solidarity with black, social, educational, and equity issues based on the fact that 90% of our black community voted against the Republican agenda in the recent elections. President Lyndon B. Johnson, being a master politician, got things accomplished as a result of leadership, understanding the need to govern in a bipartisan approach, and working around the Southern Dixiecrats, who attempted to obstruct all legislation designed to do the right thing for our country at that time.
Well, they're perfect for the Republican Party today. The whole Dixiecrat mentality.
Well, that's what they became.
Bigoted.
That's what they became. And now the more right-wing conservatives are called the Tea Party.
Tea Party. Or now we make fun of them and call them tea baggers.
They don't like that.
I don't
They
care.
don't like tea baggers.
I don't care what they like. I don't give a shit what they like and what they don't like.
The problem for Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky.
No, that guy. Another one. He's from Kentucky too.
He's a Tea Partier.
What's wrong with the Kentuckians? They all they like to do is vote for Republicans. Bunch of idiots.
Did they ever vote for Daniel Boone? Or
I don't know. Did he ever run?
What was the other one? The
Davy Crockett?
Davy Crockett.
No, he was down in the Alamo. Was he a Kentuckian?
Yeah.
Was Crockett and Boone?
Yeah, as far as I know. I know Crockett. But I think Boone too.
Davy Crockett, Jim Bowie,
Bowie, I don't know.
Designed the.
No, he was a Texan.
He designed the Bowie knife.
Bowie knife.
Bowie.
Anyway, Rand and his supporters
David Bowie, the singer,
is to be consistent with which end of the telescope of history one uses. Some 150 years ago, under Republican Abraham Lincoln, the Republican Party with Northern Democrats saved the Union, won the Civil War, and ended slavery. The next 100 years, the Southern segregated states were the bastion of the Democratic Party.
Yeah. Well, the Civil War was, I think, mostly took place for economic reasons.
Yeah,
South.
because the North were manufacturers and the South were slave owners.
No, they were farmers.
Plantations.
Plantations.
That's not a farmer. Plantation is one man on the top. It's feudalism.
Feudalism, modern day feudalism.
Right.
Okay.
50 years ago, Democratic presidents John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson supported civil rights legislation with the support of Republicans and Northern Democrats. President Richard Nixon correctly calculated that future Republican success lay in courting that Southern vote. The last 50 years of red color-coded states and history have proved him correct. Current events change views, but the past is recorded.
Here we got an idiot outside blasting their, doesn't even sound like music. At least before it, I heard classic rock. Now I'm hearing crap.
What the hell is that?
Here's your modern day America. Obnoxious idiots. That's noise. That's not even music.
Maybe it's static.
Huh?
Static.
Static, so which means they're too brain dead to adjust it. Right. Anyway, we're going to take a break. It's time for the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman's gastronomic delight known as a lunch.
Could be solar flare.
Oh, it's like a gothic. It's like a gothic.
That's metal, baby.
Metal.
Oh, you should love it.
I like it, but not during,
yeah,
not interrupting my show.
Thank you.
I mean, you know, all right, you know, hey, this is what happens when you go au naturale.
There you go.
You know, with the door open.